beat her around the head with it. You're beating her. You're beating her.
Don't let them bulldoze you, Kate. Ask me anything you like. What do you want to know? Come on, let's gossip.
She's the only one with any sense. So your mother, she's not getting a divorce, huh?
No, I think she's calmed down about it now. They'll probably live together when he gets out. In New York, of course.
Well, that's fine. Because your father, I mean, after all is said and done, he's a decent man.
I don't care. She can take him back if she likes.
And you go out much?
You mean, am I still waiting for him?
Well, no, I don't expect you to wait for him.
But that's what you mean, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm not, Kate.
You're not?
Isn't it ridiculous? I mean, surely you
I know,
can't
David,
imagine-
don't say it's ridiculous, because the papers were full of it. Now, I don't know about New York, but there was half a page about a man missing even longer than Larry, and he turned up from Burma.
He couldn't have wanted to come home very badly, Mom.
Don't be so smart.
You can have a hell of a time in Burma.
So I've heard.
Mother, you must be the only woman who after 3 years is
Are
still...
you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, if you're sure, then you're sure. They don't say it on the radio, but I'm sure in the dark of night they're still waiting for their sons.
Mother, you're
Now don't be so damn smart. Stop it. There's just a few things you don't know, all of you. And I'll tell you one of them, Annie. Deep in your heart, you've always been waiting for him.
No, Kate.
But deep in your
Yeah,
heart...
she ought to know, shouldn't she?
Don't let them tell you what to think. Listen to your heart. Only your heart.
But why does your heart tell you he's alive?
Because he has to be.
But why, Kate?
Because certain things have to be, and certain things can never be. Like the sun has to rise, it has to be. That's why there's a God. Otherwise anything could happen. But there's a God, so certain things can never happen. I would know. Just like the day he went into that terrible battle. Did he write me? Was it in the papers? No. But that morning I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. Ask John. Suddenly I knew. I knew he was almost killed that day, Anne, and you know I'm right.
No, Kate. I have to have some tea.
Annie! Oh, gee whiz! How are you?
Frank, you sure are getting old.
He's got responsibility.
Gee whiz, Frank.
Without Frank, the stars would never know when to come out.
You still have a dash ring?
Oh, well, yeah, why not? Hey, maybe I too could get to be president, huh? How's your brother? Got his degree, I hear.
Oh, George has his own office now.
Don't say. And your dad, is he,
Fun. I'll be in to see Lydia.
Oh, well, how about it? Does Dad expect a parole?
Well, I really don't know, Frank.
Well, because I feel, that if an intelligent man like your father is put in prison, there ought to be a law that says either you execute him or you let him go after
What's the matter?
Oh, jeez. No, that's all right. I'll finish that horoscope tonight, Kate. Goodbye, Anne. You look wonderful.
Haven't they stopped talking about Dad?
Nobody talks about him anymore.
Gone and forgotten, kid.
Tell me, because I don't want to meet
I don't
anyone
want
involved
you
if they're
worrying
gonna-
about it.
Do they still remember the case, Joe? Do they still talk about you?
The only one that still talks about it is my wife.
That's because you keep on playing policeman with all the kids. All the parents hear out of you is jail, jail, jail.
No. What actually happened was when I got home from the penitentiary, the kids took an interest in me. You know kids. I was like the expert on the jail situation. But then, as time passed, they got it confused, and I ended up detective.
Except that they didn't get it confused. He was handing out police badges from the Post Toasties boxes.
Gosh, it's wonderful to hear you laughing about it.
Why? What did you expect?
The last thing I remember was one word on his block. Murderers. Do you remember that, Kate? Mrs. Hammond standing out front of our yard, yelling that word? She's still around, I suppose?
They're all still around.
Don't listen to her. Every Saturday night, the same gang is playing poker under the arbor. The same ones yelled murder are the ones that are taking my money now.
Don't, Joe. She's a sensitive girl. Don't fool her. They still remember about Dad. It's different with him. He was exonerated. But your father's still there. Honestly, that's why I wasn't so enthusiastic about you coming here. I know how sensitive you are, and I said to Chris...
Listen, you do like I did, you'll be all right. Now, the day I came home, I got out of my car. But not in front of the house, around the corner. Now, you should have been here, Randy. You too, Chris. You've seen something. Now, everybody knew that I was getting out that day. The porches were loaded. Picture it now. Nobody believed that I was innocent. Word was, I pulled a fast one getting myself exonerated. So I walked down the road, slowly, and with a smile. The beast. I was the beast. I was the one that sold cracked cylinder heads to the U.S. Army Air Force. I was the one that made 21 P-40s crash in Australia. Kid, walking down the street that day, I was guilty as hell. Except I wasn't. And I had a court paper in my pocket to prove that I wasn't. So I walked past the porches. Result? 14 months later, I got one of the biggest shops in the state again. A respected man again. Bigger than ever.
Joe McGuts.
And that's the only way you licked on his guts. Now, you made a terrible mistake leaving here. You made it hard for your father for when he gets out. That's why I say I'd love to see them move right back.
How could they move back?
It ain't gonna end until they move back on this block. Till people play cards with him again. And talk with him and smile with him. Now you play cards with a man, you know he can't be a murderer. Now the next time you write Dad, I'd like you to tell him exactly what I said. You understand me?
But don't you hold anything against him?
Annie, I never believed in crucifying people.
But he was your partner. He
Well-
dragged you through the mud.
He ain't my sweetheart, but you gotta forgive, don't you?
You either, Kate. Don't you feel anything?
Look, the next time that you write Dad,
I don't write.
all right, wherever
No,
now
I've
and then.
never written him. Neither has my brother. Say, do you feel this way too?
He murdered 21 pilots.
What the hell kind of talk is that?
That's not a thing to say about a man.
What else can you say? When they took him away, I followed him. I went to him every visiting day. I was crying all the time until the news came about Larry. Then I realized it's wrong to pity a man like that. Father or no father, there's only one way to look at him. He knowingly shipped out parts that would crash an airplane. And how do you know Larry wasn't one of them?
I was waiting for that. Annie, as long as you're here, I want to ask you never to say that again.
You surprised me. I thought you'd be mad at him.
No, what your father did had nothing to do with Larry. Nothing.
But we can't know that.
As long as you're here.
But Kate,
Let that out of your head.
Because
That's all. That's enough. Now come inside and have some tea with me.
you see the
He's
thing
not
is-
dead, so there's no argument. Now come.
Yeah, in a minute.
Now listen, all right.
Annie, no, she don't feel that way.
Sick of the whole
Do you
subject.
want her to go out like this? Those cylinder heads went into P-40s only. You know Larry never flew a P-40. What's the matter with you?
So who flew those P-40s then? Pigs?
The man was a fool, but don't make a murderer out of it. Have you got no sense? Look what it does to her. Now listen. You gotta appreciate what was doing in that shop in the war, the both of you. It was a madhouse. Every half an hour, the major is calling for cylinder heads. They were whipping us with the telephone. The trucks were hauling them away hot, damn near. I mean, just try to see it human. See it human. So a batch comes out with a crack. That happens. That's the business. A fine hairline crack. All right, so he's a little man, your father. Always scared of loud voices. need you to say, have a production day shot. What do I say? You see what I mean? Human. So he takes out his tools and he covers over the cracks. All right, that's bad. It ain't murder. That's what a little man does. Now, if I could have gone in that day, I would have told him, Steve, jump him. We can afford it. But alone, he was afraid. But I know that he meant no harm. He believed they'd hold up 100%. Now, that is a mistake, but that ain't murder. You mustn't think that way about him. You understand? It's not right.
Joe, let's forget it.
Annie, the day the news came about Larry, he was in the cell next to mine. Dad. And he cried, Annie. He cried half of the night.
He should have cried all night.
Annie,
Are you gonna stop it?
Don't yell at him. He just wants everybody happy. Huh?
That's my sentence. Now, can you stand steak?
And champagne.
Ah, now you're operating. I'll call Swanson's for a table. Big night tonight, Annie.
Can't scare me.
I like that girl. Wrap her up. You got nice legs, Annie. Hey, I want to see everybody drunk tonight. Look at him, he's blushing.
Drink your tea, Casanova. Isn't he a great guy?